Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. The tubular journey continues, and we're going to pause and recognize some achievements that we make in stacking. That's right, before we actually add these two new $half to this tube here to fill it up, the whole goal in this tubular journey is to try to fill this tube up with these 1964 Kennedy $half. And I wanted to get more than just two, but I had to kind of take a step back and look at the finances and realize, you know what, I just can't afford to do it right now, given other obligations that are going on and the like. So in times like that, there may be situations where you cannot make as much of a purchase as you normally would. And you think to yourself, I'm not getting to my goals quick enough. So what can I do about it? Well, in times like this, you can either fret about it and be concerned, or the right thing to do is understanding that you have already made some achievements in your stacking goals. And time's not through yet. If you do put a goal, a time goal, in order to finish a particular goal in stacking for a year or a month and the like, well, yes, it can be very difficult at times. Sometimes you may reach them, other times not. And if you want to be very disciplined financially, more than likely you can probably find a way to make it happen, but do it without breaking the bank or going into debt. But other times, if you're like me, you know, you don't fret about it too much. Now, if you're a young stacker, and by young stacker I mean someone who is not necessarily with regards to age per se, but only been stacking for a very short amount of time, then you're probably thinking about, well, I don't know how much longer silver is going to hold at the prices they are before it goes up. And then it's going to be a lot more expensive and much more difficult to acquire. Or some people may think that there could be a serious economic downturn or even SHTF scenario for a myriad of different reasons. Probably the most realistic reason why there would be such a case would be a natural disaster of some sort of a breakdown in that regard. But thinking about silver and the purchases you make to meet your goals, whether it be for filling a tube or just stacking ounces, sometimes it's good to take a step back before you add these new ounces or pieces to your tube or whatever is to take a look and assess and recognize achievements already made. Now here we see this tube of $half, and most of you have seen that I've acquired them 1, 2, 4, maybe 5 at a time, depending if it's a good month or what have you. And then you just stack them up accordingly. And through time, it becomes quite a substantial weight there. And that's what's going on here. This is quite a substantial amount, and it's taken quite some time. Really, in a sense, it's taken longer than I expected, and we're not near done yet. We're going to add 2 to this, but just take a look at this. You know, this is quite an achievement. These are all brilliant uncirculated $half, and I'm very much accumulating these more as a collector, and just for the beauty of the pieces themselves, and then as a stacker. This just happens to be a kind of silver that you can accumulate with some historical importance and beauty, as well as being priced relatively close to spot with all things considered, and you can achieve brilliant uncirculated pieces. So at times, it's good to just kind of sit back and admire what you have achieved thus far. Even if you haven't met a goal that you were or at least there yet, you know, if you wanted to get more than you thought, you know, take a step back. And I think it's good to reward yourself in this way, to kind of just assess what you've done so far. Because if you think about it, especially if you're a new stacker and a new accumulator of precious metals, when you take stock and recognize that you may have, let's say you have 10 ounces of silver. That's 10 more ounces than you would have had if you hadn't started stacking at all. That's quite an achievement. And arguably that's probably more than most Americans have of silver in any form, much less in what's known, in as considered investment form of silver, in the form of coins, rounds, or bars. And that's what you see here. This is an example. This is something tangible, and it's something to behold. And it is quite an accomplishment. And, and the other thing, too, and I've talked about this in a prior Tubular Journey episode, and that is just to not really compare yourself to the Joneses, or to me in this particular case, because this is a very modest, you might think this is a very modest display of silver compared to what you may have seen from other channels on YouTube or friends and the like elsewhere. Or folks that that buy the stuff, buy the monster box and the like, or buy it by the tube. Some people buy tubes as part of their monster box journey. Not me. I'm just accumulating this, knowing, kind of when I can, and in the midst of other goals that I'm trying to accumulate. And it's times like this when you just really have to kind of take a step back and reward yourself. It's because this is a tangible form of wealth. And as modest as it may seem to you, it is an accomplishment, and it is an achievement. And it's something that you should reward yourself with in times when you can't make the purchases that you'd like, or the amount of purchases you like. And so that, I think, will kind of give you a resolve, a feeling that you're doing the right thing, and that you're moving in a positive direction, even if it's not as fast as you'd like, for one reason or another. You may have had an unexpected expense hit that particular time of the month, and that has caused quite a distress in your family, and you wanted to accumulate, let's say you wanted to accumulate 13 ounces and you can only get 4. That's okay. That's part of what makes this journey interesting, and in some ways exciting. It's good to have goals, but understand, there's a saying among people that are saving is to pay yourself first. Well, I take a different approach. I say pay your bills first, and you do that, and you're doing well. If you can pay your bills first and pay off your debts, that's going to be the best measure, and position yourself to a point where you can make additions. Now, that is not to say that as you're doing that, you can't accumulate, and you shouldn't accumulate, and that's why I do these series of videos, and basically with this modest goal, with accumulating a little at a time, because silver is such a metal that can be done, and that's what makes it unique and different from gold in that way, to where you can just get a few of these particular pieces, which are not even 4/10 of an ounce of silver in each one of these $half, and then you just press on, and you get as many as you can with the amount of money that you have available. And so with that being said, here we are with other financial obligations that I'm taking care of, but I was able to find, $12 hanging around to get these two brilliant uncirculated $half, and I wanted to get more because I wanted to wrap up this Tubular journey, but I can't do it yet because of other financial obligations and goals and the like to be set. But this is why with silver you can do it at any increment that you so desire. And this is just one way, and it's a way to do it to add beauty and attraction to your silver stacking. So here we go. Let's pause now for a moment as we add 2 more $half. Brilliant uncirculated Kennedy $half, mind you, to the tube to continue the tubular journey there. All right. There it is. 2 more, and look at that. And then when you're done adding them, knowing that you wanted to add more, take a good look again and appreciate the accumulation of wealth that you are taking part in here in this tubular journey. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Post your comments below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching. It's time for me to put a lid on it.